Hello, this is Arash Vossoughi with Voss Coaching Co. Today, I want to start off with a story before I really get into the video that I'm creating here. You know, my mentor, Bob Proctor, him and I worked so closely together for 14 years. And anytime I was stuck, I would tell him, you know, I'm stuck. And he said, well, why do you think you're stuck? And it came into two suggestions from him. He said, either you're operating with a bad attitude, you're letting the outside control you, or you don't have a goal. Usually, it was one or the other, he said. He said, I know you're going to argue with me. You're going to tell me, no, I have a great attitude. And then he said, I could prove it to you. Or he says, you don't have a goal. He said, you might have something written down, but it's a wish or a hope. And he said, goals. He said, my mentor told me goals are the most important things. It is the difference between winning and losing. And I want you to hear that. And what I want to talk to you about today is goals. And I'm going to go back to what I said. The difference between winning and losing is goals. Now, when you're watching this, I'm going to sit back right now and ask you to sit back and ask yourself, do I have a definite goal that I'm working on? Or do I have a wish or a hope? Now, you're going to know you have a definite goal because first thing this morning you thought about was your goal. And you'll know if you're timid about it, you haven't implanted that goal into your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind, anything you plant in it, your subconscious is going to take you to. Now, do you have a wish or a hope, or do you have a definite goal? It always starts the question, what do you really want? Not what do you think you can achieve, what do you really want? Goals are what we trade our lives for. Goals are not for getting, they're for growing. Who do we become in the process? I remember when I first started getting into personal development, I was studying Jim Rohn, and he said, the best part of goals is the person you become in the process. Now, I remember sitting there, and my awareness couldn't pick that up. I said, all I wanted to do is achieve that goal. But now, looking back, many years later, it's always about who am I becoming. I'm going to burn this. I want you to burn what I'm about to tell you in your mind. Goal setting is an intellectual exercise. Goal achieving is a lawful process. Everything happens by law, not luck. Now, I'm going to say that again. I want you to really get this because at Voss Coaching Co., we're not interested in you just setting goals. We want you to become goal achievers. And when you become a goal achiever and make goal achieving part of your identity, you're going to achieve one goal on top of the next, on top of the next, on top of the next. And the beautiful part is when you become a goal achiever, you're going to expect to achieve every one of your goals. And it's only going to be a matter of how can I get better. Where you are now to what you sat back and thought you wanted, there is a gap between where you are and where you want to go. And that gap is your paradigm. Our paradigm is very important to understand. Until we understand our paradigm and understand our mind, we're not going to achieve many goals. And if we achieve them, we're doing them based on the law of averages. Our paradigm is the primary cause of our result. It impacts our ability to earn money, impacts our use of time, our productivity, and our effectiveness. Now, how do you become a goal achiever? First thing you have to do is know, what do you really want? Then you accept the idea. When you accept the idea, it goes deep into your subconscious. And when you accept it, you get in the spirit of it. When you're in the spirit of anything, you fall in love with that idea. I remember years ago, when I was getting mentored, my mentor said, well, what is it that you really want? And I said, I'm not really sure. You know, I had a lot of things working against me in terms of my physical results. And he says, I'm not interested in your physical results. He said, what do you really want? And I said, I want to create a life of freedom. And he said, well, what does freedom mean to you? I said, well, I want to live my life on my terms, do what I want, when I want, with whomever I want, as often as I want. And he said, well, you do have a goal then. Freedom is your goal. Well, I fell in love with that idea of freedom. And I want you to think of your goal and fall in love with it right now. And you express the result like it's already here. And I started just thinking about freedom over and over and over again, where I became aware all the time of my behaviors and were they aligned with my goal of freedom. And as we do that, that's how you get in the spirit of it. And when you get in the spirit of it, you harmonize with it. What is it? When you hear the word entering in the spirit of it, it is your goal. And in order to be a goal achiever, you have to make an irrevocable, committed decision every day that you're going to do 3 to 6 goal achieving activities towards that goal. Every day, you make every day day one. Now, there's going to be a lot of winning along the way. There's going to be a lot of failing along the way, but you keep pressing forward. And as you keep pressing forward, you're developing the behaviors of the person you have to become to achieve that goal. Well, what are those behaviors? First one is we develop and match our self-image. What is the image of the person you would have to become to achieve your goal? So you think, feel, and act as that person. What is the attitude of that person? Is that person giving up quickly? Does that person constantly bulletproof their attitude and look for the good in it? Is that person picking other people's brains who've already achieved it? Is that person getting the right mentorship? And then you create great discipline. These are the qualities of a goal achiever: discipline, attitude, and not just any type of discipline, a committed, relentless self-discipline where you are in control of your thinking. You are in control of how you feel, and you remind yourself to step out and act as that person. Then you create these pillars of goal achieving. What are those pillars? You make your goal an obsession, a healthy obsession, where you are so in love with it that you're thinking about it all day long. Think about a person you fell in love with for the first time. And you didn't even have to think about them. They'd come on the screen of your mind. That's what we want with goals. We've got to infiltrate our mind and create a healthy obsession. Then we create a relentless attitude as thinking, feeling, and acting as that person, and we become fearless. Fearlessness is a key character of a goal achiever. You want to become fearless. And I already told you, you're going to fall. You have a paradigm that's going to fight you so hard to settle, but you can never settle. You operate with the standard of your goal. And every night you want to ask yourself, did I act like the person who would have achieved that goal? Did I have that discipline? Did I do the activities? Now let's say you're sitting there and you didn't do any goal achieving activities today. You drifted. You let the old conditioning come in. Well, what we want you to do is never do the 2-day rule. You never miss 2 days in a row. We never miss 2 days in a row. And with your goal, you're either all in or all out. You can't be kind of in on your goal. You can't be timid about your goal. You want to be an alpha with your goal. You want to really go all in. You do not need to know how to do it. You know what the beautiful part is your spirit knows the how. It's going to bring everything that you need for the fulfillment of your goal. It's going to bring the mentors. It's going to bring the right people. It's going to bring an idea to you. You may bump up on somebody on the side of the street. Somebody may message you that you haven't talked to for so long. Set goals that drive your emotion. But the key is entering in the spirit, falling in love with that idea. Fall in love with being a goal achiever. What type of goal are you setting? There's 3 types of goals. There's a type A goal, which is a goal that you've already achieved, so it's not going to stretch you. You already know you could do it. There's another goal, which is called the type B goal. This is a goal you've never achieved. You know you could do it. You just have to really get locked in on it. But it's not stretching you much. It may stretch you a little bit. The types of goals that I want you to set and achieve are goals that are so far out of your comfort zone. It's how you really want to live. Because remember, we're trading our life for what we do. It's not whether you're worthy of the goal, is the goal worthy of you? And the beautiful part, as humans, we're goal-seeking organisms. So we are going after the goal just as much as the goal is coming after us. Think about if you wake up in the morning and you go to your fridge and get a glass of water, that is your goal. You're walking there. It's the same thing with goals that you don't know how you're going to achieve. The one key, if you want to create a significant result, you have to put a lot of time and get emotionally involved with expressing your result, the goal, like you've already had it. And when you get emotionally involved with anything, you dump it in the power that you have access to in your subconscious mind, and your subconscious will take you there. But it doesn't just take you there. When you turn your goal into a desire, what happens is it's not just in your subconscious, it's in universal subconscious where the whole universe conspires on your behalf to make it a reality. Now, I go back to my dear friend Bob Proctor. He said there's two things. It's either what's holding you back, it's either attitude or goal. So we can never talk about goals without understanding attitude. Attitude, what is your attitude towards your goal? And our attitude is our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions. I want you to really get this. Our thoughts, we're putting a thought out into the universe, and the universe, by the law of cause and effect, is bringing the exact match of that thought. Well, that creates a feeling, and that feeling goes out, and guess what? We get the exact feeling that's in harmony with it, which will create the actions. So attitude is our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions. And we have this power that's flowing in and through us. And that power, we're either directing it towards our goal, or we're directing it towards just going on autopilot, going on the old story, the old conditioning. Become a goal achiever. Fall in love with going after your goals relentlessly, but detached. Come from a detached state of mind. When you come from a neutral state, that's what detachment is. That's when you're in the greatest power. And that's how you're going to bring the goals to you quicker. Everything in nature shows us the manifestation process. We have to allow it to happen. Now, what do we have to do? We have to think, feel, and act like we already have expressed those results right now. And what we're doing right now, we're going to see in the future. Unfortunately, many people have a bad relationship to setbacks. They think it's a failure. So they focus on the past. Oh, I've done it before. They don't think, feel, and act like that person, so they don't bring it into their reality. I want you to think, feel, and act. Do not get discouraged, because your 5 senses are going to be the last part of you that experiences the goal. Get in the spirit of it. Condition your mind. And if you want to learn how to condition it, go back to some of my previous videos that I've done just on the mind. I can tell you, this YouTube page, and I'm constantly putting content because I want you to be extremely successful and live the life of your dreams. But in order to be a goal achiever, you have to understand the pillars that I went over between discipline, standard, self-image, attitude, be obsessed with your goal, operate with a relentless attitude, and be fearless, and operate in harmony with the laws of the universe. I'm going to continue. This is just a very brief commentary lesson on goals, and we have to go deep in this to really understand it, because I told you this earlier, goal achieving happens by exact law. It's a lawful process, and it is the best when you start learning and accept that idea right away. This is Arash Vossoughi. Thank you so much.